Hi there, my name's Rachel. I'm from Mindful Therapies. I'm also a psychotherapist and a cat mum. And I'm joined today by my cat, Shima, who I'm going to see if I can show you. To move. Here she is. Say hello, princess. And this is my little lockdown buddy. Oh. So today I would like to talk about gravy, what I'm calling stress gravy. And this is my nan's wisdom I want to share with everyone today. So when I was little, every Sunday, myself and my mum would go round to my nan's for Sunday dinner. And dinner would be ready for 1:00. We'd arrive about 1:55, just as she was about to dish up and she was finishing off the gravy. And my job, I had the most important job, which was gravy tester. So I'd get a little teaspoon out and I'd go to the gravy and I'd go, yeah, that's good enough. That's good gravy, Nan. My nan does the best gravy. You might think that your nan does the best gravy, but I have to say, you would be wrong. My nan does the best gravy. And the way to do the best gravy, you get the meat, if you're cooking meat, and all of the juices that come off the meat when you're cooking it goes in this special jug, which goes into the fridge. And that separates off the fat from the jelly. Then you scrape off, well, you can either scrape off the jelly or the jug kind of scrape off the fat, or the jug does it for you. And then you start off, the first thing you have for the gravy is you have the jelly from the meat. Then you would add the water from the veg, a little bit of gravy powder, Bisto, and some corn flour. So you get your powders and you mix them in with a bit of cold water and you add that as it's boiling, stirring all the time. And what that means is that the gravy tastes of the entire Sunday dinner. It's amazing. And my nan told me a very wise thing as she was teaching me how to make gravy. And that was, you can add, but you can't take away. So if you have too much of one thing, you can't take it out. So if you put too much Bisto in and your gravy gets too thick, you can't remove the Bisto. You have to add more water. If you have too much water and your gravy's too thin, you can't take the water out. You need to add more corn flour or Bisto. So what's this got to do with anything? So I've been thinking a lot about stress recently, and we need a little bit of stress in our lives. If we have no stress at all, then we probably wouldn't bother getting out of bed. There'd be nothing to drive us forward. There'd be no kind of healthy stress. Our stress gravy would be too thin. However, if we have too much stress, then our stress gravy is too thick. And sometimes there is nothing we can do about the amount of stress we have. So if we think about our normal level of stress, that might be the stress of having a job, the stress of having children, the stress of having a partner, which, all of those things are wonderful, but they can be stressful. The stress of relationships, all of the different things that we have in our lives can be joyful and stressful at the same time. And we can manage them. And in order to manage those things, we need the water of self-care. So we need to have time for ourselves, we need time to recharge, and self-care looks different for everyone. So it might be a bubble bath, it might be a walk, it might be riding your motorbike, whatever it might be. It might be having your cat sat on your knee. So whatever it is, we need that in order to have the right consistency of our gravy. But this year we've got a whole load more Bisto, a whole load more corn flour, we've got an extra dimension of stress, and that's COVID. We didn't choose it, we can't take it away. So when we have more stress in our lives, what we often do is we think, oh, I need to take something out to be able to cope. So I haven't got time to cook a home cooked meal. I'll just get takeaway. Or I haven't got time to go for a walk. Or I haven't got time to read a novel. I've got all of this extra all of these extra things to worry about. And what ends up happening is our stress gravy gets thick and lumpy and unmanageable. When we have more stress, what we need is more self-care. That was the postman. So my question for you to reflect on today is, what are you adding in to your stress gravy? What is your additional self-care that you are giving yourself during this second lockdown? And maybe we also need to think about it even more, because often our self-care involves going to restaurants, going to the pub, meeting with friends, and they're things that we can't do at the moment. So how can you look after yourself in this potentially quite stressful time, when maybe our usual forms of self-care have been taken away? So it's really important, and it'll be different for everyone. But today, let's think about what's our self-care. So for me, it's reading a novel, going for a walk, playing with the cat, which does mean that I end up having lots of little screwed up bits of paper all over my living room because she likes to play fetch. Finding opportunities to laugh and having a nice home cooked meal. Ow! She's just dug her claws in. So, see what you come up with and look after yourselves. And remember, you're not alone.